Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So many of you have probably seen this crazy headline floating around the news for the past several days that a sociologist said her research proves that veganism promotes and perpetuates white masculinity. Yes, veganism promotes white masculinity. The study's title, Meatless Meals and Masculinity, How Veg Men Explain Their Plant-Based Diets. The study was produced by a graduate teaching student at North Carolina State University, Mary Kate Mysak. As I'll show you here, Miss Mysak's study, her paper, is full of horrible assumptions about veganism in general and male vegans in particular. Let's start out with this great one here about veganism in general. She says, men effectively engage in a feminized practice, eating only plants, but masculinize it rather than feminize themselves and their consumption identities. Well, I think Ms. Mysak is being completely disingenuous here. Well, how is it a known true fact about the world that not eating dead animals is a feminine practice? I mean, males do it too, females do it. It's a decision to not eat dead animals. And to stereotype that as being feminine is just completely intellectually dishonest. Please, Ms. Mysak, show me how this is some kind of known true fact about reality. Well, secondly, you go on there to say, because not eating dead animals is a feminine thing, males try to overcome that by asserting their white male dominance and supremacy. Let's take a look how she pulls this out. She says that vegan men use their diet to bolster their masculinity by explaining their choice to become vegan in ways that evoke logics of rationality, science, and reason, concepts that she asserts get coded as masculine. So you're especially guilty of supporting white masculinity if your decision to go vegan has something to do with rationality, science, or logic rather than emotional. I mean, this is just so out there. I don't even know where to start. First of all, I think she's being sexist in her own right by asserting that women don't come to conclusions about going vegan or anything by any means other than emotionality. Women are somehow not capable of using rational thought to arrive at conclusions. She believes that women tend to go vegan or vegetarian due to emotional reasons or personal opinion. Well, she should have factored that into her study, because this is how poorly designed her study was. She just sat down and talked to 20 men who are vegan or vegetarian to see what their reasons were for becoming vegan or vegetarian. Just talked to 20 guys. That's her whole sample, her whole population out there. Well, if she wanted this study to actually have a little bit more scientific weight to it, she should have had a control group, right? A control group of a similar number of females and seen if there really was that much of a significant difference between them as far as reasons for going vegan, rational and logical versus emotional. What I also found very troubling and sexist about this article was how the author aligned concepts such as science, expert opinion, and even facts with white masculinity, while she just said, the realm of the feminine is just opinion and value. And an example of this she pulled out was Hector, who said he went vegan because he read a book that made a lot of sense to him. It's written by this guy who was a molecular biologist, and what he said made a lot of sense. And according to this author, Hector is a classic displayer of white masculinity because he listened to someone who knew a lot about a certain subject and followed this guy's opinion. All right, so far all the author's been focused on is the masculinity part of white masculinity. So where in the world does white masculinity come out of? She says that she frames veganism as a privilege for the elite, explaining that it symbolizes for men a form of cultural capital and a symbolic resource, a way to align oneself with those who have the privilege of choice when it comes to food decisions. So I guess this is where she's pulling the white part out of this white masculinity. Only white people have the power and privilege to make decisions when it comes to food choices. And again, I just find this complete rubbish. I mean, is she assuming that vegan diets are more expensive and therefore only people with a certain amount of economic power have the ability to make food choices? This is complete nonsense. As we say time and time again on the show, there is no cheaper diet out there than whole food plants. Can you tell me what costs less per calorie to eat than legumes, potatoes, rice, bananas? And people from all over the world of all different economic backgrounds have the ability to choose those foods just as much as they have the ability to choose more expensive meats and fast food. So again, this thing about it being veganism, a white privilege diet, is complete nonsense. You know, just reading all this stuff from this author really got me thinking as to my reasons for going vegan. And if they were purely logical and therefore perpetuating white masculinity, I'm not even fully white, if you guys may have noticed, or were my decisions more emotional and feminine? You guys tell me down below, what do you think? Because you guys have probably heard me talk about this before. It all started when I went on vacation one time for about a week in San Francisco, and I chose to make all my meals vegan at home. And when I went out to restaurants, I got all vegan options there as well. So at the end of the week, it dawned on me, like, wow, not only do I feel great and full of energy, but no animals had to die in order for me to live. Nothing had to be killed in order for me to live. And that had a great emotional impact on me. So there was this emotional component where I had empathy and compassion for animals and nothing had to die. Yet I came to this rational conclusion, it seemed like, oh, I'm going to go vegan because of that emotional feeling. So it just shows you how I think it's just kind of artificial for this author to categorize people's decisions to go vegan is binary, just all emotional or all logical, when these are complicated decisions and it's really not so black and white if it's a purely logical or purely emotional decision. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. And is this video of mine in itself just an example of white masculinity, since I'm trying to prove a female wrong? Let me know what you think down below. If you got something out of this video, hit like and share it if you've seen someone try to share this study with you. So until next time, guys, keep it carb, baby, keep it carb.